Hello, everyone. It's your dude, James, coming back to you with another episode. It is Thursday, December 26th, day after, I almost said the day after Thanksgiving. It's not. It is the day after Christmas here in the United States for those who celebrate. I'm coming back to you with another episode. It's been a little while, which makes sense. There's been lots of things going on. Um, yeah, I don't have much to say. I hope for those of you that celebrate various holidays that they're going or have gone very well. We have the New Year's coming up here in a couple days. I've spent lots of time with family, friends, doing different activities and events, and it's been wonderful. I've really enjoyed it. Um, yeah, so I don't have. There's a dog barking. That's been happening a lot lately because I think people have been gone more, and most of the apartments around mine. There's one I think that has a cat just like me, and the others mostly have dogs. And I think there's some poor dogs that have separation anxiety, so they've been barking a lot more lately. But welcome to another episode. I don't know what to tell you. I'm surprised Artemis hasn't said anything yet. I think she's napping. But we're doing good. There's not too much. Lots of family and friend time. I just got a new haircut the other day, so new fresh do, all that good stuff. I hate when I have um, long hair, so I just don't have it long. It makes it look like I have sideburns. I don't. This is shaved, so I wonder if it's just the angle. You're welcome. Welcome to another podcast episode. It is not early in the morning. It's like 1 p.m. But it's just like I don't have anything planned today. I feel like I'm in holiday recovery at this point. I have to clean my apartment. What's new? There's like boxes, and I have to put away the wrapping paper and the tape, and put away the gifts that I got, which is wonderful problem to have. Um, yeah, so just some of those like light activities. I really want to hit the gym. Um, I might or might not call my cousin because I just saw her yesterday for our Christmas. And every once in a while, I like to get in a good workout by myself. We always do things at the gym, but we tend to talk a little bit more than work out. Just drinking my water. And so, yeah, sometimes that nice focused workout where I just have my headphones in and just go to town by myself every once in a while is very nice. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been thinking a lot about this next year, and I never know if I'm going to set goals or targets or, you know, things I want to work towards this next year. It's up in the air. My health and fitness is absolutely one of them. That I always try different things, and yeah, just getting back on different bandwagons and seeing where we go for this next year is a goal. Um, with my crafting, I don't know where I want to go. There's a lot of things I could do. There's sweaters. I want to get back to making some sweaters. I feel like all I've done is shawls. But again, I'm not planning any sweaters right now. I'm finishing a shawl. I'm gonna start another one New Year's Day. Um, yeah, that's what I've got. So um, there's a lot of episodes. I really don't know what else to say. I'm in this nice, very chill Zen mode of I've been knitting for a couple hours, watching court TV this morning, and I got to catch up on some of Penny's episodes. That's one of my goals for today, and we'll see where the day takes us. All right, I'll see you all back here after the clips, and we'll do a wrap up. See you soon. Hello, everyone. It is Friday, December 6th, and I am in the midst of packing because, of course, I'm packing at the last minute, and I am getting ready to go on my yearly retreat. And so I'm super excited. A group of friends and I go to what's called the Keller House in Sheboygan. Well, it's not in Sheboygan. I think it's technically in Hingham or Waldo, these really small towns in Wisconsin. And I'm super excited. It happens once a year. We get to go. There's like a lot of bedrooms there that people can stay in. Um, it's it's basically a crafter's retreat. They took a 3-stall garage and they made it into a giant crafting space with lots of folding tables and outlets, and um, everybody takes turn bringing different meals, and we all kind of eat together and stay there, and it's just a wonderful time with a great group of people, and a great amount of crafting that happens. And so um, it starts today on Friday and it ends on Monday, the December 9th. And so I thought it would be fun to do a little recap of the projects I'm planning to bring, to see kind of the progress that I make. I'll try and do another video on Monday when I get back home, just to see where we're at. And most of the projects I'm bringing aren't even started, so this will be fun to see how much I can get done. So yeah, and then when I get done making this video, I have to finish packing, and I have to pack up all the food stuff, and then I can finally get on the road. It is almost noon right now, and the crafting house opens at noon. So if I was on top of it, I would have left an hour ago. I'm not. I'm just recording my video now. So, but it's no rush. It's vacation for me. I took off of work, and so that's how I'm approaching it. And I'm super excited to spend time with my friends and to craft with knitters and other crafters for the long weekend. So that's where we're at. I have several planned projects. We'll see what actually happens. No pressure, because again, this is vacation. The first one is no surprise to anyone by now. It is the artist's shawl. Oh, got a lot of ends here. And I gotta be careful because it's getting big. So this is my current progress. I am halfway through my second chart. And so I would ideally like to be done with all of the charts by the time I get back, if not the charts and the border. I did rewrite this border section to be done in mosaic, so I want to test that. I sent that to Miss Cheryl, but I'm not at that section to actually test it, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm loving the pattern. I just got started on the green up top here. Like I said, I have half of a chart and then the final chart, and that's before I get done. So I'd like to be done with all my charts by the time I come back, if not more. I'm really enjoying this, so it might very well be much more than that. So that's the first project. The second project, for those of you that are familiar, this is the Kuma cowl, and I'm doing another one. I said that in my last episode. I'm doing another one, so I have it here in my bearded pearl bag, all set to go. So I've skeined up. I have my yarn. I'm going to do 3 sections with this main color, and then these will be 2 accent sections, and I'm holding that with my mohair that I have. I always put it in these plastic bags, and then I pull a strand, and I mostly shut the plastic bag because then mohair doesn't get everywhere, and it's a bit easier to work with for me having it in a little plastic bag. So yeah, this will be my Kuma cowl. We'll see how far I get by the end of the retreat. Let's see. And then in this wonderful bag that my good friend Amy got me, I appreciate it, I am starting a sweater. I have the pattern. I can't remember what pattern it is. I'll tell you when I get back on Monday. I have the pattern all picked out, downloaded on my new tablet, ready to go. I'm using some Respun from Lion Brand, which I got at Joann's. This is the color. I want something that they'll be able to wash, and I really like the feel of Respun. It's 100% polyester. Did I say that right? I think I said that right. Yeah. 100% post-consumer recycled polyester. So I like the feel of it. It'll be good for a 1-year-old baby girl sweater. We'll see how far I get. I'd like to finish the Kuma cowl. That's maybe a little ambitious. I would like to get through the yoke of this at least, and maybe separate for sleeves. These are all very ambitious goals, I know, but you have to tell yourself something. I'm gonna laugh myself silly when I edit this video. I just know it. Let's see. Oh yes, and then I have my alpaca hat. This is the kit, not the kit. This is the yarn that I bought in New Jersey. It's lovely. It's size 5 yarn, which I think is chunky. I get chunky and bulky confused. I love these colors. It's a navy and a gold. And I want to make a hat, a very simple hat. I have 50 grams of each, so 100 grams. I hope that's enough. This I plan to completely finish. I hope it's done. It's in the bag that my friend Ingrid got me, so I love it. And then finally, last but not least, I have an entire bag full of cotton yarn to make dishcloths for those times when the conversation gets funny. I can't focus on a pattern. I want to get some of my dishcloths for the holidays done. I have 2 that are partially started that you've seen before in Packer colors, green and gold. I want those finished, and I think, at least 2 more done. So my total will be 4 completed at least. Yeah, and that's just in my Packer bag that my friend Steph got for me. So those are all my projects. I could take more. Like, I thought about taking the Old Port hat by Andrew Mowry. I thought about taking the other Stephen West that I'm working on right now, but it's like, gotta try and be at least semi-realistic. I'm already not realistic at all. But yeah, we'll see where we go. We'll see how those things turn out. I just wanted to update you to remember where we were at before I even left. And now I need to go pack and hit the road. So I will see you all later, and hopefully I'll have a couple pictures. We'll see on Monday when I do a recap. All right, hope you all have a great weekend. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone. It is Tuesday, December 10th. And yes, as soon as I started talking, Artemis does too, because she just is that way. Hello! I was going to do a recap yesterday from my amazing, wonderful crafting weekend. It was so good, but as one does, didn't quite work out as planned. I ended up cramming. I got to see a bunch of great things this weekend. Extended holiday. Use those vacation days, people. And I was really tired when I came back home, and so I just didn't. So I just wanted to do this quick recap of the weekend. It was wonderful. We go to a crafting house that they have in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin. It's really cute. It's outside of a small town called Waldo, and it's actually located in the location of Hingham. I don't know if it's technically unincorporated or what the designation is, but it's wonderful. It's called the Keller House. It's been a routine for years, and it sleeps something like 13 or 14 people. I don't have the exact count, but it's so cool. It's definitely like a crafter's retreat style house. They have this amazing workroom that used to be a garage. That's all wood floors, and they have these folding tables. They have lights that can go above each section, tons of outlets. So if you're a sewist or anything that needs power, there's power everywhere. Really nice. They had these little footstools, which I didn't know they were there last year, and you could put them underneath the table. So as you're sitting in your chair, you can have your feet up on the little stool as you're working and crafting, and it was just amazing. The people that go there are awesome. Some of them I only see once a year. Just some wonderful ladies. I'm so glad they include me and that I get to go. It's a wonderful time. Super enjoy it. I get lots of inspiration. We kind of talk about a million and one things, but what everybody's working on, the different Advent kits. Several ladies have gotten one of the fiber optic kits. I don't know if it was an Advent kit or what it was, but I remember seeing fiber optic last year at Wisconsin Sheep and Wool. Was it last year or one of the years before? I've seen them there. Then I think I've also seen them in Maryland Sheep and Wool. I could be wrong, but I've seen them a couple places, and now they're definitely on my list. I mean, they already were beautiful, but then watching people and what they were doing with their kits was so inspiring. One person was using most of their minis into, I think it was a shawl or a wrap. And then 2 other people, it was so funny, they were only using about half of their minis up. And then I was like, well, you guys could just switch projects, because if you're only using half of your mini and you have that left over, then theoretically you could get two projects worth with this amazing, vibrant yarn. Oh, it was so cool. Love to see it. It was a great experience. The people were great. The house is wonderful. We took turns cooking, doing different meals. We did a high tea. How cool is that? I'll put a picture in just of like the table, and it wasn't even a complete picture that I took, but we took a group photo. I didn't ask for permission to share that, so I won't. But it was really cool. It was fun to do. Just a lot of great traditions, and this is only my second year been going. We've already planned it out for a couple years after this. So I look forward to it. I took vacation Friday, took vacation yesterday for Monday. It was a great time just to kind of recenter, like refocus on the craft. And it's such a cool exchange of things you learn just about anything. Like, I talked a little bit about the Knit Companion app, and then you learn other things from other people. It's just wonderful. One of the projects people are thinking about doing is the hot chocolate wrap. I never heard of that before. I'll try and find a picture and put this up here. Editing me, don't hate me, but I'm committing you. It's your problem. Um, to take a look at that. Such a cool looking wrap. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. I'm still deciding back and forth, but really cool. Never heard of it before. Awesome to see. So, um, not everybody not everybody that was going to make it could make it because of various life things that happen, which is a little bit unfortunate. Um, but I hope if they ever watch this, they know that they are sorely missed. Everyone completely understood the multiple situations that happened, because some people weren't planning to spend the night. They just kind of day tripped. They were close enough. And some people were planning to spend the night. And, um, you know, multiple people had different things pop up, as life does. And the nice thing is, it's such a supportive group that everybody was totally understanding, willing to work with it, and then we're just looking forward to seeing them next year or at the next knit-in we go to, or all that great stuff. So if you don't have something similar near you, I highly recommend, looking at Airbnb or VRBO. There's all these rental things out there. I don't have a favorite, but consider just looking into those and posting it to some of your groups. Even if people live, a couple hours away, it's such a cool experience to get together with people that enjoy your same passion and craft, and you can exchange that knowledge. And just being around like-minded individuals, I find very beneficial. I love going to some of the big knitting events and the fiber festivals, but my favorite part is this community piece. And you don't necessarily need the fiber festival to do that. So you can organize these different groups. I'm not volunteering to organize anything. I'm encouraging all of you to explore that option. Um, yeah, so that's my little recap. I loved it. It was great. And then yesterday, after I left there about noonish, I got to see my college friends, which it's hard to coordinate with us all. We live kind of all over Wisconsin, and between the four of us, there is 8 children as of right now, and so it's fun getting together with all of them. And the kids are growing up so fast. It was really cool to see every time you get together the changes that have been there, and I just love those ladies. So back to my roots with my college friends. It was really good to see them. As for my knitting, of course, nothing ever goes completely as planned. You can see from my hat that I have finished my hat. Here it is. I like it. It's nice. It's a chunky weight yarn. This is Ikigai Chibi. I don't remember the exact content. I think it's merino and alpaca. Very warm. Love it. It's I think a size 5. I don't think it's a size 6 weight yarn. So it went really fast. I finished this, I think, the first night I was there. There is no pattern. I used Ross from Smells Like Yarn. His pattern, as far as it goes for like the stitch count, so I think it was like 56 stitches to cast on, and then I kind of made it my own. So I ended up doing 1x1 rib at the bottom. Then I did, I think, 3 or 4 just plain rows of stockinette, and then I did a row of pearl with the contrast color, all the way up until I used all of the blue. All the blue's gone, and then I finished with my remainder of the gold color there. I will say that, okay, Carol, pay attention. Carol from New Jersey. I'm only going to say this once, so you can go back and rewatch it as many times as you want. Carol was right. When we were in New Jersey, one of the last yarn shops we visited, we found this Ikigai yarn with alpaca, and it is chunky. It came in 50-gram skeins, and both Carol and I think the yarn shop owner or one of the workers had said you probably want to get 3 skeins if you're going to do any type of pattern. And I, thinking I'm oh so worldly and wise and full of BS, thought that I only really needed two. I think I should have gone with three because although this is a perfectly valid hat, um, I did 2 stitches of. I didn't continue the pattern here because this is where my row was, whatever. So you can kind of see there's a line there. Nothing's wrong. That's a design element. I don't know if I'd put it in again if I had the same choice, but I did 2 stitches instead of purls there. Um, I could have done cooler hat designs if I had added another skein of either of the colors. So if I would have had 2 colors of the gold and one of the blue, or 2 blues and 1 gold, what have you, it would have been, I could have done some more interesting, I think, patterns. But either way, I have a really warm hat. It fits. Yeah, it's super stretchy. It's so good with the alpaca in there. And I can wear it just like this. Like this is kind of weird, but I can either pull it down so that doesn't look as weird, or I can flip the brim here and I can just wear it shorter but then double thick, so more like a skull cap on my ears. So either way works. I love it. It's going to be very warm. I'll definitely use it. Today, I'm going to go pick up my godson and his brother from wrestling practice, so my cousin doesn't have to do as much running around with the different age groups. But yeah, this is done. So that was one of my goals. Done, good to go. I did not finish my Kuma cowl, but I cast it on. I'm on the 4th section here. And I love, this is black, but the mohair I'm using is the same goldy color here. Same goldy color as my other sections. And it turns it into this really cool section where it's not pure black anymore. I love the effect mohair has on the yarn. I could watch it all day. So it's wonderful. I don't have as big of a Kuma cowl as is in the pattern because I don't want it that big. So instead of going from a US size 7 to a US size 10 after the first 3 rounds, I just keep it at a US 7 because it's plenty big enough for me, and I don't need one that's like spanning the width of my shoulders. That's not the type of cowl that I like. So highly, highly enjoy this. This will be done today or tomorrow, maybe today. I have Zoom knitting on Tuesday nights. Information's down below. Yeah, so we'll see if I get that done. I way overestimated myself on the artist. I wanted to be done with both sections that I had left of the charts. And I finished the 2nd chart, so I'm on to the 3rd chart, but I've barely started the 3rd chart. The rounds got very long, and then even though I don't find it very complicated, when you're talking to people and stuff, I wanted to work on some easier things like the hat I was just making up and the Kuma. So here's the artist. I am officially on the last chart. You can kind of see at the very top, I got the gray in here now, the black ended. The dark gray, the black ended. Now I'm on the light gray. But isn't that cool? So this is 2 of the charts. So I have 1 more to go. And then I'll work on just trying to see the size. I got 4 more skeins. So I have 200 more grams of the Galloway color in just to work on increasing my size. And so those will probably be garter stitch. Maybe I'll do the waffle stitch pattern, but again, I don't know if it's really needed with the dark colors. It might just be a plain striped section. You'll see. You'll see when we get there. But yes, I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I'm liking it, and I'm using these full needles. I think these are 60-inch cords that I have on right now, and it's all the way down. So loving it. It's just beautiful. Just beautiful. But I did not get as far as I had said I would, but that should not be a surprise because I said I probably wouldn't anyways. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I didn't cast on my niece's sweater at all. I figure I'll finish the artist first. Her birthday's not until mid to late February, so I have time for the size I'm doing. I found the pattern. I did all of that. So yeah, and I didn't touch my washcloths at all. I gave my college friends their washcloths, so those got out of the house. But yeah, I need to finish like 9 more of them. Again, not too worried about that. So thanks for all sticking in. That's my update, and I'll probably do 1 or 2 more videos before this episode's out. So you'll see what the rest of the week brings. All right, bye. Hello, everyone. It is Friday evening. It's about 10 p.m., so getting pretty close to my bedtime here. It is Friday, December 20th. I had intended this to be the wrap up episode, and then put a new episode out there, but I'm just tired. I'm tired. We've got a lot going on, so this is just going to be a little segment, a little sneak peek, and then maybe I'll record tomorrow or hopefully Sunday. We'll see what happens, but today has just been it's been a lot. Okay, it's been a lot. I don't even remember the hat, but I'm wearing a hat. I got the yarn from Kevin and Ray from Needles at the Ready. I ordered from their shop, so that's what I'm wearing because my hair's just gross. And it's late right now, so I wanted to give folks an update. Um, Several reasons today was crazy. It just feels like normally for my job in December it's a little easier. Like the contractors get off, so it's not as busy. But some reason that didn't happen, and it's just been one thing after another, which is still not as busy as when I worked in higher education. My perspective always goes back to that, and so yeah, busier than normal. And then it was weird. I was drinking some of my coffee in, you can't see it, in the corner of my apartment. There's a lazy boy. That's what I usually knit in and watch some YouTube, all that good stuff. So I was drinking some coffee. Sorry, this is so rude. Excuse me. I'm not lying when I say I'm tired. But I was drinking some coffee, and all of a sudden I look to my right, and I have sliding glass doors here. There's a balcony right outside my living room. And I look, and the top rail of my balcony, and has snow. We've gotten lots of snow. On Thursday, we got several inches. And I see it getting like brushed off. And I'm like, what is going on? In my head, I'm thinking, is there somebody down on the first floor, like with a broom or something, reaching up and brushing off snow? I'm like, what? That's weird. So I lean forward and I look to my right, out my sliding glass doors, and I look, and there's railings on my balcony, and I can see in between the railings there's just this man just staring in and brushing off the snow. And I'm like, oh, I'm on the second floor. I'm on the second floor, y'all. This doesn't happen. And all of a sudden, and he's wearing like what I consider workman stuff, like Carhartt overalls and all that good stuff. He pulls out a sawzall and starts sawing my railing, my wooden railing. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? So I get up, I go to my bedroom. I work from home. I'm wearing shorts, y'all. Just like these bright pink, absolute fashion shorts. Wearing those. I'm like, okay, go to my bedroom, put on some regular pants, call my apartment complex. And I'm like, hey, it's my name. This is my apartment number. Is there any work being done to our balconies? And she said, yes. I'm like, okay, because there's somebody here now. Oh, and she's rattled off my building name again. She's like, yeah, I can see there's somebody there, but they're on the far side. That would be apartment D. And I'm like, that's my apartment, apartment D. And I'm like, so were we going to get notice and what's happening? And she said, I'm so sorry. I would have loved to give you notice. I have to get a call into the contractors because they didn't give us any notice. And obviously we would like to tell you before that happens. And I said, absolutely. So what are they doing? Can I go get my stuff off the balcony? Because I had stuff out there. They're cutting into my wooden balcony. And so she says they should be replacing the balcony, and it should be ready I should have a new balcony tomorrow. I'm like, okay. And she's like, and again, I'm really sorry. We didn't plan for this. Like, they are supposed to tell us, and they're not supposed to just go. She said, are you home right now? I'm like, yeah, I work from home. So she's like, well, I would talk to the workers and see if it's safe for you to grab your stuff and then grab it. So I did. I opened my sliding glass door. I'm like, hey, and I'm like looking down because I'm standing and he's on a ladder. I'm like, can I get my stuff? Is it safe for me to step out here? And he's like, oh yeah. I can't remember what they said. And I don't blame the people that were out here because it's probably not, it looked like a larger company, so it's probably not their responsibility to coordinate the scheduling and the logistics. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, the actual workers that were here. And so I'm like, okay. So I grabbed my stuff, brought it inside. They then proceeded to dismantle my entire balcony. There's nothing there. Um, and it was funny because there was only like one of the worker guys, and I would not be this man because I'm not scared of heights. They're just not my favorite thing. But like for a while there was one or two people up here, and then there's only one, and he kept like losing space, so they kept cutting away parts of the balcony. And finally I was like, do I need to unlock my balcony door and like open it and be like, do you need to dive in here, like what are you doing? Until finally there was only like 2 feet left for half of the balcony, and that's when he got on a ladder and finished it. So they took down my whole balcony. And it was loud. There was construction equipment. My apartment was shaking. I work from home, mind you. Thankfully, they went for lunch right before my meetings started, and then never came back. So no new balcony tomorrow for me. Just, I can't make this up. When I leaned forward and I looked, and there's a man, and I'm on the second floor staring through my railings. I'm like, what is happening? Where do I live? Where do I live? Oh. Anywho's it's. That happened today. It reminded me of Beetlejuice when they open up the one door. Excuse me, and there's just sand everywhere. And only in this case, if I open my balcony door, there's just snow everywhere. A bunch of snow worms pop up. Oh, I can't make it up. So that happened. The workday ended. I had to get some last minute Christmas shopping done. I'm doing Christmas with my immediate family tomorrow morning, so that's all set to go. I did get some of these ready. So these are just my washcloths with a little bit of ribbon, and then I curly cued the ribbon up top. I'm not going to wrap them any more than this. They know what washcloths are. Yeah, so, and I think they kind of look amazing without wrapping, so I'm not going to do it. So these are just some small little gifts, and then I have the other ones wrapped up. Much more for the younger generation nowadays. We don't really exchange gifts amongst each other. No one told me when that stopped. So last year I got some gifts for my siblings, and they were both like, what are you doing? We're not giving gifts with each other. I'm like, oh, well, thank you for informing me, the childless one among us. Apparently that was just known. So anyways, it's no big deal. No big deal at all. And I prefer getting stuff for the kids anyways. They're way more fun to watch open gifts. So that's all ready. They're wrapped. I have some more crocheting to do before I have another Christmas on Christmas Day. But before we get to that, look what I have here. Can you just? I have officially finished, except for the 7-stitch I-cord bind off. I finished the artist shawl. It's still on the needles, you'll notice. But look at all of that. Doesn't it just look glorious? I love it. I love it. I finally had to put it on new cords because the old ones were getting way too smushed. And I thought the old ones were 60-inch. I think they might have been 40. Or some other weird measurement, and now these are even bigger than 60. I don't know. I used my cable connector and found the longest two Chowgu red lace cable cords I could, combine them, and now we have this, which it still could go longer. I have my little red M&M needle stoppers on there to prevent it from going off, but it's almost, it would go over the needles by a small bit if it could, but it gives you a good sense of the size. Now here is why I'm just going to show you. If I take this and I put it on, now this is pre-blocked, mind you, pre-blocked. This is what it does. So you see here, that's it. And here's the other side. So I obviously have a wide chest, large shoulders, all that good stuff. But this is why I'm continuing it. This is why I knew I'd be worried about the size. I could almost make this like a little shrug or something, a little cowl, but I wanted it to be a shawl, and I still have lots of room to expand it. So that's why I'm going to do my own thing, and I am going to continue it with my own pattern, we'll see what I do with it. But this is it so far. It is really gorgeous. If I was smaller, for those of you that are watching that are maybe more petite than me, this would be perfect for, I think of like Telly Bean Knits, or I think of like Noelle, just those people that have the body type that could pull this off. Oh my God, you should totally do it if you're thinking about that. Or if you're like me and you're like, I don't care, I'm gonna make it fit however I want, then you should do it too. Because that's what I'm doing. I'm going to continue on. I have lots of yarn left. I did order, I guess I shouldn't say lots, because I ordered 4 more skeins, 4 more 50-gram skeins. But I have about 350 grams of yarn. That includes the 200 grams. So I would have had 150-ish extra grams of yarn to put into this. So that's my big debate. That's what I've been talking to people on my Zoom group chats about, is how do I expand this and what does it look like? So I'm working on this edge. Oh, that's my backside. Doesn't my backside look good? That is not the first time I've said that. In knitting or real life. So it is what it is. This is where I'm at. I've done the last border and I've done the section right before the border. So now I have to determine, what do I do? Where do I put my increases? I'm fairly okay with the depth. Now that I've tried it on, I still have a good, I'd still be fine with another 6 inches of depth. Okay, but what I really want is I want length. Now, grant you, this is how I'm working it. I'm working it top down, so I'm really only getting the length from the edges here when I first start. That's where I'm getting the length that I want. And I do my increases. Now, I explained this terribly on Zoom, so let me try better here. I have the typical increases. There's typically 4 stitches that you increase total when you do an increase round. And so it's at either edge, so 1, 1, where you begin and end the row, and then there's 2 right in the middle on each side of the spine. There's a very clear spine that goes all the way down. You can really see it in the mosaic. So there's a spine that goes all the way down. So total of 4 stitch increase. Now in the mosaic, it was every 4 rows, every 4th row you would do an increase. I don't think I'm giving away the secret sauce. You really need the charts to do this, in my opinion. Maybe up here there was faster increases, because the last row I did was actually, you increased every 2nd row, which is going to kind of be my plan, to increase the frequency of stitches, but then to think about how often I put them along the spine, because I still want it to be triangular in shape. I still want to maintain that. I'd be okay if it wasn't as extreme of an angle for the point, so I'd be okay if that evened out a little bit, I think. Because no matter what, I'm not going to lose the shape of that in the mosaic. Like, it's done. That part I'm not going to lose. It's only at the bottom where I might lose some of the angle of the triangle. So I was thinking, and I talked it over with the Tuesday night group, that I would do increased rounds every 2nd round. But then I'm playing with, do I still keep it as a 4-stitch increase, except on every 4th round, I still do the increases along the spine, but then every 2nd round when I do my increase, so basically half the time I do the increases, I include the spine. The other half, I just do more increases at the edge. So that's going to change the angle of the shawl at the bottom slightly. It's not going to change the angle, I don't think, up here, because this is already done. This angle is not going to change. It's at the bottom, so the overall shape that might get affected. So that's what I've been poking around in my head. I'm thinking about. I did weigh my yarn for my last row, and I'm using about 3 grams of yarn every row, and that's just one way. Because in my head, when I think of a row, I think there and back. That's my thought process. That's not true. That's 2 rows, a lot of knitting patterns, I think not a lot, most everyone, that would be 2 rows, but in my head that's 1 row, but that's not how I counted. I just did from doing a complete right side row. That's it. That was 3 grams. So I have 350 grams of yarn left, knowing that as I increase, it's not going to stay at 3. It's going to use more yarn as I go. The only thing I'm worried about is maintaining enough yarn to do my bind off. And I want it to be a loose bind off so that when I block it, it works well. So I guess I should think about how much I should have left. So feel free to put it in the comments, your thoughts, opinions. For the sake of an example, by the time I get to the end, if I'm using 10 grams per row, do I want to leave 30 grams for the bind off? I don't know. That's where my head is going. That's what I'm thinking. But it's also late, and I have finally finished the mosaic sections and get to do anything I want at this point going forward. So yeah, I'm gonna brush my teeth, floss, and go to bed. I'm done knitting for the day. I am done. It is done. It is glorious. I'm gonna revel in what I have, and yeah, we'll see what I end up doing afterwards. So I appreciate everybody's comments. I appreciate all the support as I've finished this. I've loved working on the artist. I love the mosaic, was my favorite part, so that no matter what I do, I will be happy with that. And no matter what I do, I will use all the yarn that I have. I thought about not doing it, but having tried it on, we're definitely going to use every piece of it. So yeah, thanks for sticking in, and I don't know when I'm going to finish this episode. It might be a really long one. All right, bye! Welcome back. Yeah, this is just the wrap-up of how everything has gone. I don't have many new things. The main thing I have to show you all is my progress on the artists, and we do have quite a bit of progress. So here's where we're at. You can see we're at the bottom here. I'm putting my own basic border on here just to give it that added length. So this is a good indication of the extra length I've added, because it would have basically kind of stopped here, and you would have done, I think it's an I-cord, a 7-stitch I-cord border, but I have a lot more fabric I've created with these. So what I've done so far is I've used my leftover yarn, and I'm just doing a basic garter stitch, and I'm doing increases here. So that's how much I've increased so far. I'm almost done with this gray. Then I have a brown to add in. I have 2 skeins of that, and I have 3.5 skeins of black. So the brown here is about 1 and a little bit of a skein, so 1.1 skeins of gray. So you can kind of see how much more I have to be able to add here with it. I did just measure it. That's why it's like this, and why I thought I would podcast. I have it on 2 needles actually here at the bottom, so you can get a good view of it. And measuring it, it's about 72 inches across. So I've already gone beyond what the pattern said, because the pattern I think took you to 68 or 69 inches across. So I'm already bigger than the pattern, and it's not blocked yet. So to give you a sense of how much it'll grow, I don't know. I'm hoping to get it at least 80 before blocking. We'll see. But we've gone from towards the end of the mosaic, all of the rows were taking a really long time. When I switched to the garter at the bottom, they got a little bit faster, but I'm continuing to add increases and continue to get longer and longer rows. So it's starting to slow down, but it's mindless enough that I can watch TV and I don't need to watch my knitting as I go. I have incorporated the increases. So I'm doing an increase every right side row, but then I switch off every other right side row where I'm putting those increases. So the first one I do normal. I put 1 stitch at each end. So 1 stitch way over here, 1 stitch way over here, and then on the center spine, I put a stitch on each side of the center spine. So that's 4 stitches total. And then when I get to the next right side row, I'm putting 2 stitches on one end, 2 stitch increase, and then a 2 stitch increase on the other end. So I'm still trying to maintain that triangular shape in the center with the center spine increases, but I'm hoping it'll grow wider faster, which I think it is, because if you look at it like this, you can see that the rate of increase change on my side. It goes from a very steady to whoop. It curves like that. You can see right there. Curves very nicely. So that's giving me some of the increase that I want where I want the increases. Yeah, and I'm basically just using up yarn at this point. I'm a little worried about how the brown is going to look in here because the rest of the shawl doesn't contain any brown. There's no brown in the rest of this shawl. So adding it at the end could make it look cool, give it like an accent stripe at the bottom. I thought about marling it because I have 2 skeins of brown, 3 skeins of gray. I could do every other row and kind of have the brown blend in with my dark gray. I could do 1 skein of brown, 1 skein of gray, 1 skein of brown, 2 skeins of gray. I think I'm just going to do the brown all together and then do the dark gray, because the dark gray I think will pull it in and the brown will give it the accent color. Yeah, then I also debated, do I just not do the brown at all? Do I just use my 3 skeins of gray and be done with it? But I've said from the beginning, I'm aware that that's a tendency we have when we get these big projects. We just want to be done. And if you're okay with it being done, you're okay. But I know that I would probably regret it. So I'm going to incorporate the brown. Still don't know quite how yet, but we will see. My goal for this was to try and get it finished by the time the next shawl started on the 1st of January. I'm participating in the Unite Cal with Penny and Kendra. So we'll see. I don't think that's realistic. I don't think that's going to happen just with the amount of knitting that I have to do. Maybe, but we're at the long days. I have 5 full skeins to put in here. And I'd be lucky, extremely lucky, to get 1 skein done a day. It's a lot of knitting. It's a lot of knitting. It's way more realistic to think half a skein a day. And so you're looking at like more closer to 10 days to finish this. So it is what it is. We'll see where it goes. I do love it. We're supposed to get some more snow in January here in Wisconsin, and so it's going to be perfect to cuddle up in. It is very warm. I love working on it. It's almost like I have another blanket on. I have to be careful with the cat because she thinks it's another blanket, so she can just hop up on my chair and cuddle into it, and I don't want her claws in it. So I've had to push her down, and then she gives me that side evil eye, like, what are you doing? And I'm like, can't have you ruin it. She did it once where one of her claws got stuck, and I had to, she didn't break any of the yarn, but she really stretched it out. So then I went in with a needle and pulled on all the legs and kind of evened out the yarn that she had pulled everywhere. So we're going to avoid that for the future. These are the main things I'm working on. I didn't really pick up my niece's sweater. I figured that's going to be something when I need to work on something smaller time frame to get it done quicker, because I just have the sleeves and like another inch or 2 at the body, and that's done. And then do my duplicate. Well, I won't do duplicate stitch. I'll do my crochet chain. Either way, it's going to be something I use as a nice palette cleanser between these bigger projects as my niece's sweater. So that is coming up because her birthday's in February. So that's what I got. I haven't started my January birthday square. I have the yarn all picked out, ready to go. That'll be a nice another thing to incorporate between these larger projects. So that's where we're at. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you all. I hope you all have happy and safe holidays and New Year's and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.